Hello, I'm Captain Vile. Welcome to how Riddler is Riddler. Since comic book characters can be written by many different people and appear in many different pieces of media, there isn't a definitive version of a character, just an unwritten list of rules how they should look, act, and be written. Except, I wrote that unwritten list. I'm now reviewing different Riddlers to see how Riddler they are. Here's a list of rules. I didn't have time to go through all of them with you individually, so you're going to have to pause through them yourself. Today, we're looking at something new for the series. A novel, The Riddler's Gambit, a little-known novel set in the Arkham universe after City but before Night, about Riddler trying to fill the power vacuum in Gotham. And, since this is just written word, that means I'll have to read you the evidence to show it. Which means that this Riddler is played by me. Oh, thank you. Thank you! I've waited so long for this opportunity. I'd like to thank my mother and my father and my 7th grade English teacher and my... Now, this is a book, so we don't actually see what he looks like, but there is a part that gives us an idea, so to save time, I'll just show what rules he follows. Batman looked up at across the street. There, standing on the roof of the same building where Batman had fought Deadshot, was the Riddler, in his loose-fitting green frock coat covered in question marks and slacks, ludicrous bowler, green boots and glasses, his tie flapping in the wind. Sporting his signature outfit, the Riddler loved his atmospherics, that was for sure. The shaft itself was decorated with question marks all the way down to a landing, where a maintenance hallway extended as far as Robin could see. At all intervals along its flanks were light fixtures, also in the shape of question marks. His lairs and traps are decorated.
Batman,
the armor said. Robin didn't move inside it. The voice emanated from a speaker set in the base of the helmet. Batman stopped. Riddler, he said. Yes! Edward Nigma here.
Edward Nigma.
I want to make sure you understand a few things before we proceed. Since it's no fun giving someone a riddle without enough information to solve it, anyone can spew out
random
gibberish.
The master of the game proved his superiority by challenging his adversary. The master of the game, and giving that adversary every opportunity to fight back. Wouldn't you agree? He's very confident. What's your game, Riddler? He asked. You are my game. Batman is my game. Gotham City is my game. And simultaneously, the board on which I play. And when I play, I win. You survived the tests I set for you, but each was just a prelude. The story begins
now.
It's being written in. Not on, but in.
Not on, but in.
The little scrap of paper you ingested
So agreeably.
back in the tea room. So agreeably.
Treats
The whole thing like a chess game. You're thinking like a rational person, Batman countered. The Riddler operates on different principles. He's not a complete lunatic like the Joker or Zaz, but not the most balanced individual we've fought, and he seems to be more vicious than usual. Worse, he's controlling the game, and that puts us at a disadvantage. This was true, Robin reflected, but the Riddler wasn't completely off the deep end. He was meticulous, and everything he did tended to make sense in a twisted sort of way. His sanity is talked about, but he's never there to deny it. A short time later, a lackey entered the Riddler's sanctum. He reported on their progress in locating the mechanical guardians. We found 5 of them so far, the thug said. He was heavy-set and didn't look as if he'd shaved recently. Excellent, the Riddler responded, smiling with undisguised glee. What sort of condition are they in? They all seem pretty much undamaged, though we don't know for sure until we turn them on, he grinned. Lucky you got your hands on them when you did, he added. If the Joker had kept control of them, there's no telling how much damage he'd have done. If he was calling the shots, that'd be all she wrote. The smile disappeared from the Riddler's face. That will be all, he said, and the man looked startled. He turned to leave, approaching the door. Nigma shot him in the back. He collapsed without a sound. Shoots a henchman for even mentioning the Joker. Riddler could have killed Robin dozens of times, and even makes a puzzle to release him from the mech instead of simply locking him inside. When he had left the message for Batman, the Riddler had been angry. He had been essentially faking it. Oh, so angry. He had wanted Robin to die. He had wanted to see Batman's favorite blast into charred and bloody shreds by police missiles. And he had forced himself to write that message, then to set up that dummy, just in case. Because he could not stand the idea of being caught unprepared.
While he doesn't think he could lose, he never says they cheated. Comes up with an extensive plan to kill Robin in front of Batman.
Imago, the Riddler called. You must have solved it by now, or we wouldn't be speaking, would we, O most worthy of adversary? Batman looked up and across the street. There, standing on the roof of the same building where Batman had fought Deadshot, was the Riddler, in his loose-fitting green frock coat, covered in question marks and slacks, ludicrous bowler, green boots and glasses, his tie flapping in the wind. Batman, I must salute your accomplishment, he continued, as well as those of your doughty assistant, young Robin. These were stern tests, and you survived them all.
Mocks Batman and Robin after they were almost blown up by police missiles.
Together they ran down the block, simultaneously cast grappling lines that pulled them to the top of the building where the Riddler waited. And the last piece of the puzzle falls into place, the Riddler said as they climbed. He's not running, Robin said. Maybe that's the last piece of the puzzle, Batman answered. They were just below the overhung roof rail. 1, 2. He didn't have to say free. They kicked off the wall and used the tension in the grapple lines to swing up and over the rooftop. The Riddler didn't move or speak. A moment later they realized it wasn't Nigma at all. It was a dummy dressed in the Riddler's signature outfit. Bracketed onto the dummy's jaw was a small speaker, now emitting just a soft hiss of white noise.
Taunts on the radio, a speaker on a dummy, and even inside Robin's head.
In the truest terms, one could not conceive of Gotham City without the Joker. That, as the Riddler saw it, was the problem. He, Edward Nigma, would be the solution. There was a vacuum at the very pinnacle of Gotham's patriarchy of crime, and it was well known that nature abhorred a vacuum. So too did the Riddler. Therefore, he would fill it.
Wants to become the new face of crime in Gotham.
There's more to this story. We're on it. Back after this... Wait! I just got a very interesting note from my producer. Donna, is this legit? You're sure? You're not sure. Well, let's find out. Listeners, we're about to talk to one Edward Nigma. Edward, you're on. Greetings, Mr.
Trask.
I don't often listen to your show, I confess. But today I am
Following events with some
Interest.
interest.
I'm sure. Our listeners may or may not know that Edward Nigma is an alias for the Riddler. Is that who you are, sir? Yes.
Ew.
How do we know that? Well, you
Don't.
but you will receive confirmation soon.
Soon.
Sue.
What if I were to tell you that before the end of the day,
Batman.
we'll be trying to stop not 1 clock, but 2?
Not 1 clock, but 2.
Let me guess, that's a riddle.
Very astute.
And you will witness its solution in a matter of a few hours. Keep up the good work, Mr. Trask. The people must be informed about what's going on.
Calls into a radio show to let Gotham know what he's up to. Contact Henchmen and Villains. Send Henchmen to scout Arkham City and Wonder City. Send GCPD a USB and an app that starts an hour counter. Let Deadshot know to kill Lucas Angelo, who was a software engineer at Ace Chemicals, with an arrow that says TikTok. Sends message, I am Larval, files that would lead to Steel Mill, and a riddle that leads to the bank. Lead either Batman or Robin to a specific sewer tunnel in Arkham City, depending on which one locks them into a certain room with number 4 code. Have someone hire goons to guard the bank and set up a clue on what number 4 code is by the placement of the safes, and have Killer Croc's tooth in the safe. Regular safes to blow whenever Killer Croc's tooth is picked up. By now, Deadshot should have killed the second victim, Brian Isaacson, who was a contractor at Ace Chemicals. Either Batman or Robin dropped down into a giant chessboard and moved to door number 1 in 4 night moves. Both Deadshot victims work at Ace Chemicals. That is a hint that Killer Croc is hiding there. Either Batman or Robin go through door number 1 and lead him to a hallway down below the steel mill into a catwalk into a flooding cistern puzzle that leads whoever's on the outside to solve an Ace Chemicals flood control facility. Deadshot should now have killed a third victim, Rosalind Mayoson. who may miniaturize electronics. Have Croc attack who's ever solving the puzzle but not kill them. It will ensure they keep his tube for later and tells them about Hatter and Harley. Leader Batman or Robin to the chest room through door number 2. We're to make 3 bishop moves to get into door number 3. After that door is a freight elevator that leads 50 feet below the room to a chemical puzzle that involves moving metal balls where the room is incredibly cold. The colder room is a hint to Mr. Freeze, who's hiding in Ace Chemical factory. While this is happening, send Vicky Vale a hint and ask her to meet somewhere in Arkham City subway tunnels. Whoever is outside will find a shipment from Conundrum Solutions to Mr. Freeze. Victor will tell them about the exploding batteries he made and part of the solution to the chemical puzzle. As the Batman or Robin try to solve the puzzle, the metal balls begin to heat from the chemical reaction, and the room will then explode. Door number 4 will open just as the balls begin to explode, forcing either Batman or Robin back into the chest room, where they will have 2 rook moves against door number 5. By now, they try to have killed Pierre Olette, but if he's in a safe house, then kill Teresa Gray, who's head of the mailroom at GCPD, and a Riddler spy in order to buy time to get to Pierre. By now, Vicky Vale should be in the location given to her by Harley Quinn, and will have captured her. Door number 5 leads you to Batman or Robin to a Victorian room with a grandfather clock that says Kroll Gem, and bread and paper that says "Eat me." That hints whoever's outside for go to the casino for Hatter. Harley Quinn comes in with Vicky Vale and tries to cut her head off in front of either Batman or Robin, so they'll fight. After Harley tells who she fought to eat the paper, who's ever on the outside will go to Hatter and be told about the device that lets Riddler control robots of his mind. One of these robots is in the Hatter room to ensure Harley plays along. If she doesn't, have it come out and scare her away. Either Batman or Robin will then come back to the chest room for go to door number 6 after solving a clock puzzle. When they get to the chest room, they can walk straight to door number 7, which will lead to Wonder City, which is actually Riddler's hideout. They will then get to a mechanized suit. Wonder City will then explode and start the flood, forcing either Batman or Robin into a suit to survive. By now, Deadshot will have found and killed Pierre Olette. To stop him from telling whoever's on the outside, either Batman or Robin will have made their way out of Wonder City and be walking along the river floor and avoid sinking into the silt. They will then climb a bridge out of the water outside. Now, out of the water, the sunlight will illuminate the interior of the suit either Batman or Robin are housed in, and show the theme of the word pupa. This, paired with the previous I am lover, will hint at the life cycle of insects. By now, the paper inside either Batman or Robin will go into effect, and Riddler will be in full control of their bodies, similar to how he can control robots of his mind. He will inform his new pawn of the plans to have them killed. Whoever's on the outside must unlock whoever's on the inside using keys obtained during the Gambit, before GCPD shoots them down to save the civilians. If either Batman or Robin somehow freed from the mech before GCPD shoots them down, place a dummy of a speaker on the opposite side of the building to make it seem like everything went according to plan.
You see, Robin is alive and well. Yet your most difficult challenge is still ahead. You want to free Robin? Of course you do. But I cannot let you open the suit, for I fear the very same
batteries of
power it will combine and explode if it is breached. There is one way, and only one way,
And only
one way,
one way
to circumvent this mechanism. The answer lies in a riddle
in a riddle.
I have given you. And just to make things a little more
Interesting.
I thought I would add another element. Robin? The Guardian armor raised its left hand and spread the fingers from its palm. A beam of energy lanced out, blasting apart the cabin of an empty GCPD patrol boat docked at the next pier. The boat started to burn fiercely as the Riddler continued. You see that young Robin is under
My
control,
he said. He speaks in
riddles.
as I am fond of doing. His limbs move as I command, and the suit does what I tell it to do. It will continue to do so until you either solve my
final riddle.
or choose to sacrifice your comrade on the altar of public safety. Shall we begin? Shall we begin?
Yen.
Let's Batman know how to get Robin out of the suit. Not bad. Mainly missed out on points for looks, but he did get some back for the dummy part. Other than that, a good Riddler with motivation works well. I would have had him address the public more than just on the radio, like hacking a broadcast as Robin was on the bridge in the suit, but that might have taken away from the Batman fighting him and GCPD in the finale. If you feel I've made a mistake in my evaluation, or if Riddler you'd like to see reviews, please tell me. I might not get to him soon, but I plan on doing as many Riddlers as possible, so I will get to him eventually. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.